all of you. I'm Saurabh Khandelwal from SK Education, from SK Tech Education, and Assistant Professor at AIT Apex University, Jaipur. Now, in last session, we discussed about RPP formulation, a case study of RPP formulation. How to create the RPP equations from given respective problem. Now, in this session, we discuss about the RPP solution. We discuss about the RPP solution by the use of graphical method. This is the simple second step of the RPP. In first step of the OPP, we create the RPP formulation, and after creating the RPP formulation, how to solve the RPP equations. For solving of the RPP equations, various methods are available, in which one method is the graphical method. So today we discuss about the RPP solution by the use of graphical method. In last session topic, we will discuss about the RPP introduction, what is RPP, advantage, disadvantage, and limitations of the RPP mathematical forms, canonical form and standard form of RPP, how to create the standard form of RPP formulation, and in last session we discussed about the case study of RPP formulation, a real-time problem. Now, in this lecture, we discuss about the RPP solution by the use of graphical method. Graphical solution is limited to linear programming models containing only two decision variables. Graphical method is applicable where only two decision variables are available, x1 and x2. If more than two decision variables are available, means x1, x2, x3, x4, then we can't use the graphical method. For that type of questions, we use the simplex method. So, and simplex method we will discuss separately. What is the procedure of the graphical method? How to solve the RPP equation with the help of graphical method? For that, first step of RPP is formulation of RPP problem, which we will discuss earlier. After creating the RPP equations, second step is frame the graph. Now, in RPP equations, we have only two variables, x1 and x2. So, frame the graph means assume the one variable on the horizontal axis and another variable on the vertical axis of the graph. Next step is plot the constraint. Assume the constraint a equality sign and assume the arbitrary value of the constraint and plot that point on the graph paper. Now, what is arbitrary value? For the arbitrary value, suppose our equation is 3x1 plus 5x2 is equals to 15. Now, what is the arbitrary value? If for the plotting of the graph, for the plotting of that equation on the graph paper, we all know that 3x1 plus 5x2 is equals to 15, means this is the equation of a line. And for plotting of a line, we need 2 points. We need minimum 2 points for draw a line. So, if we assume x1 is equals to 0, then we find value of x2 from the equation. And second, if we assume x2 is equals to 0, then we find the value of x1. So we take here 2 points. So this is the plot the constant. After that, plot the graph. Plot the graph means now we have the 2 points x1 and x2, 2 points of a line. So draw that line on the graph. After that, outline the solution area. Area which satisfy the constraint equation. Means check the constraint equations conditions and mark out the area which is satisfied for that constraint equation. After that, mark potential solution point. Mark potential solution point means intersection of the points of all constraints. Mark the corner point of all the constraints which satisfy for our solution area. After that, substitute and find the optimum solution. Means here we dot the different point, various points. Put the every value of the point in our objective function equations and find out the optimum solution which is required. This is the complete procedure of the graphical method. First, consider an example of the graphical method. We discuss about some important definitions. First one is feasible region. First definition is feasible region. What is the feasible region? The common region determined by all the constant and non-negativity limitations of an LPP program. Means एक कॉमन एरिया जितनी भी कंस्ट्रेंट इक्वेशंस क्वेश्चंस में आपके डिफाइन है उस कंस्ट्रेंट इक्वेशन से बाउंडेड एक कॉमन एरिया जो आप हमारा डिटरमाइन होता है वो एरिया हमारा होता है फीजिबल रीजन. Feasible rhythm for a two-variable linear programming problem can be a single point, a single line, a polygon or an unbounded area. किसी भी टाइप का एरिया हो सकता है feasible rhythm. Assume this one is only a single point or a single line or a polygon. Every type of area is the feasible area. Now, how can we find out the feasible rhythm? For that, 3 points are important. First one is, if our equation is greater than and equal to type, then then feasible area consider it the area on or above the constraint line. If our equation is greater than and equal to, then area consider it on or above the constraint line. For less than and equal to type, the area on or below the constraint line will be considered. And for equal to type, constraint area on the line itself will be considered. These three are the important points for determining the feasible area. These 3 points are very important. After we discuss all the solution. Now, a linear programming problem falls into the various categories. First one is an infeasible solution, has a unique optimum solution or alternate optimal solution, or has an objective function that can be increased without bound, means unbounded solution. Every type of solution is possible for a linear programming problem. Infeasible solution, unique optimum solution, alternative optimum solution, or unbounded solution. These are the different parameters, and in my lectures, I cover all the parameters. How we find out the infeasible solution with the help of graphical method, how we find out the unique optimum solution, what is the alternative optimum solution with the help of graphical method, what is unbounded solution with the help of graphical method. All are covered in my lecture. Next one is corner point. A point in the feasible region that is the intersection of two boundaries lines. This is known as corner point. Now, for the graphical method, first step is formulation of the problem. Formulation of the problem. And RPP formulation means RPP standard form is maximum CTX. AX is greater than equal to or greater than equal to B, and X is greater than equal to 0. This is the standard form of our RPP. For complete understanding the procedure of the graphical method, we consider a example. In that example, assume maximum Z is equal to 15x1 plus 10x2. Subject to means constraint equation is 4x1 plus 6x2 is greater than equal to 360. Second one is 3x1 is greater than equal to 180. And last one is 5x1 is greater than equal to 200. And x1 and x2 is greater than equal to 0. How we solve this RPP problem with the help of graphical method we discussed in this. First step for the RPP problem is frame the graph. Here, I assume variable x1 on the horizontal axis and variable x2 on the vertical axis. Simple graph. X1 on the horizontal axis and x2 on the vertical axis. And this one is our origin point, 0 and 0. Next step is plug the constraint. For the plug of constraint, we choose an arbitrary value of decision variable. Now, how can we choose the arbitrary value? Our first equation is 4x1 plus 6x2 is greater than equal to 360. Now, if here I assume x1 is equal to 0, if here I assume x1 is equal to 0, then what is the value of x2? X2 is equal to 360 by 6, means x2 is equal to 60. For second point, if I assume x2 is equal to 0, then value of x1 is 4x1 is equal to 360, means x1 is equal to 360 divided by 4 means 90. So here we dot 2 points of this line equation. 0, 60 and 90, 0. These 2 points. Our second constraint is 3x1 is greater than equal to 180. Means x1 is equal to 60. For every value of x2, x1 is constant, 60. Next equation is 5x2 is greater than equal to 200. Means x2 is equal to 200 divided by 5, means x2 is equal to 40. Means for every value of x1, x2 is remains constant, and this constant value is 40. Here we dot the point of our constant equation. Next one is plot the graph. Now, this is our graph, x1 on the horizontal axis and x2 on the vertical axis. For the first constant equation, we dot 2 points, 0, 60 and 90 and 0. 90 and 0. So, we mark our both points. 0 and 60 means x1 is 0 and x2 is 60. So, we mark our point 60 and 90 and 0. So x1 is 90 and x2 is 0. We mark our both points. Now we have 2 points. Draw that point means this is our equation, this is our line. This is the graph of our line 4x1 plus 6x2 is greater than equal to 360. Now, which one area is considered for the feasible region? For the feasible region, I discussed in last slide, if our constraint equation have greater than equal to sign, then area considered will be on or below the line. On or below the line. So here feasible area for the first line is on or below the line. Means toward the origin point. Toward the origin point. Now for the second line is 3x1 is greater than equal to 180. Means for every value of x1, for every value of x2, x1 is 60. So draw a line parallel to the x2. For every value of x2, x1 is 60. Why? Because this line is not depend on the variable x2. Same here, which one area is considered? Here sign is greater than equal to. So the greater than equal to same over the origin. Over the origin. Area will be considered. Now, third equation is 5x2 is greater than equal to 200 means x2 is equal to 40. For every value of x1, x2 is 40. So draw diagram parallel to x1. Arrange which one area is considered? Greater than equal to sign means over the origin. Over the origin area will be considered. Now, we create only one graph for all our equations, not a different graph. Only we create one graph for number of equations. So I combine all the graph in the one. This one is graph for our first equation 4x1 plus 6x2 is greater than equal to 360. This one is our second equation 3x1 is greater than equal to 180. And this one is our third equation 5x2 is greater than equal to 200. And mark out the feasible area region. And we discussed earlier in last slide, in all our three equations, sign is the greater than equal to, means toward the origin. Area will be considered. Toward the origin area will be considered. So in the next step, we find out the feasible region. We find out the feasible region. And what is feasible region? Feasible region is the common area considered with the all constraint equation. So here, which one area is the common area? This one, A area marked out by the blue line. Marked out with the blue line is the common area with the all constraint equation. So this area is known as our feasible region. This area is known as our feasible region. After the find out the feasible region, mark the corner point. Mark the corner point, which consider on the boundary of the feasible region. So here corner point is first corner point is this one origin point, boundary of the feasible region. Mark this point with the name of O. Second point is this one point. Mark that point with the name of A. Next one corner point is this one point. Mark the point of B. Next corner point is this. Mark that point with C. Next one this. Mark with the name of D. So in this complete common area we have 5 corner points O, A, B, C, and D. After that, note down the value of R point. Note down the value of R point. O point means origin point 0, 0. A point is 60 and 0. For the point of B, point B is considered as the equation number 1. 4x1 plus 6x2 is greater than equal to 360. And equation number 2, 3x1 is greater than equal to 180. So, for the finding the value of B, solve both the equations, both the linear equations, and determine the value of B. Similarly, for determining the value of C, value point C is considered on the line 4x1 plus 6x2 is greater than equal to 360 and 5x1 is greater than equal to 200. In that two lines, point C is intersect. So solve that two lines and find the value of C. After that, for the value of D is 0 and 40. Write down the OR value. Value of point A, point O, 0, 0. A, 60 and 0. B, 60, 20. C, 30 and 40. And D, 0 and 40. These are all our corner points. Now, which one is the optimum? To find out the optimum solution, put every value in our objective function equation Z. First, if we put point O 0, 0 in Z equation, then value of Z is 0. For the 60 and 0, value of Z is 900. For the 60 and 20, value of Z is 1100. For the value of 30 and 40, value of Z is 850. And for the point 0 and 40, value of Z is 400. in this question, we determine the maximum value of Z. This is our objective. Our objective defined is the maximum of Z. So here, which one value is maximum? Here, 1100 value of Z is maximum. This is the maximum value of Z. So our optimum solution of given LPP is x1 is 50, x2 is 20, and maximum Z is 1100. And one more point is here. In this problem, only at a bump point, maximum value of Z is available. Only one single point, 60 and 20. Value of Z is 1100 and this is maximum. Means only a single solution is possible. So this type of LPP solution is known as unique solution. Now, second case of LPP is minimization type of problem. In our first example, I discussed about the maximization type of problem. Now here, I discuss about the minimization type of problem. Here our problem is minimum Z is equal to 3x1 plus 2x2. Constant equation means subject to 5x1 plus x2 is greater than or equal to 10. x1 plus x2 is greater than or equal to 6. x1 plus 4x2 is greater than or equal to 12. And x1 and x2 is greater than or equal to 0. This is our problem. Now, here only two variables x1 and x2. So graphical method is apply here. Same. First step, frame the graph. Assume x1 on the horizontal axis and x2 on the vertical axis. Our first equation is 5x1 plus x2 is greater than or equal to 0. From here, if x1 is equal to 0, then what is the value of x2? If x1 is 0, then x2 is equals to 10. And if x2 is 0, means if x2 is 0, 5x1 is equals to 10, means x1 is equals to 2. So this is the 2 point of our first line. 5x1 plus x2 is greater than or equal to 10. 2 point is 0, 10 and 2 and 0. Second equation, x1 plus x2 is greater than or equal to 6. Same, if x1 is 0, then x2 is 6. And if x2 is 0, then x1 is 6. This one is our second equation's point. Our third equation is x1 plus 4x2 is greater than or equal to 12. From here, if x1 is equal to 0, then x2 is 4x2 is equal to 12 means x2 is 3. If x2 is 0, then x2 is equal to 12. We find out the points of the or constant equation. Now move on the second step. In next step, plot the graph for the first constant equation. Point is 0 and 10. Mark this point 0 and 10, and second point is 2 and 0. Mark that point 2 and 0. After that, draw that point. This one is our line of the first constant equation. For the second constant equation, our point is 0 and 6. Mark that point. And next point is also 6 and 0. Mark that point. Draw this line. This one is our second line. After that, third constant 0 and 3 and 12 and 0. Mark that point 0 and 3, 12 and 0. And draw that line. This one is our third constant line. Now, which one area is considered? Here, which one area is considered for the feasible region? In first equation, our sign is greater than and equal to. And I already discussed, if your sign is greater than and equal to, then area will be considered on the above the line. Above the line will be considered. In second constant equation, sign is greater than and equal to. So here area is the on or above the line. After that, third greater than and equal to means area is on or above the line. So which one is our common area here? This one is our common area. Area shown with the line with the blue line is our common area. And this one is area is known as feasible region. This one is our feasible region. Now, here most important point is this area is not bounded. This area is not bounded with the upper boundary limit, but bounded with the lower boundary limit. Now, which one? For the lower boundary limit, our constant is also defined from the minimum, for the minimum of Z. So mark the corner point at the lower boundary limit. First point is A, second point this one B, third point is this one C, and last point is this one is D. Here four corner points are defined. What is the value of that corner point? For the value of A, value of A is 12 and 0. For the value of B is the intersection of the line second and third. Means x1 plus x2 is greater than or equal to 6 and x1 plus 4x2 is greater than or equal to 12. Solve this two line equation and find the value of x1 and x2. This is the value of B. for the value of C lying is first and second. 5x1 plus x2 is greater than or equal to 10 and x1 plus x2 is greater than or equal to 6. These 2 points. So find out the value of C with the help of solving these two equations. And value of D is 0 and 10. This one is our value. Point A, square and 0. Point B, 4 and 2. Point C, 1 and 5. Point D, 0 and 10. After that, put that value x1 and x2 in the equation of objective function and determine the value of z. Here for the point square and 0, value of z is 36. For the point B, 4 and 2, value of z is 16. For the point C, 1 and 5, value of z is 13. And for the point D, 0 and 10, value of z is 12. Now, here our question is defined for the minimization of the z. So, here minimum value of z is 13. 13 is the minimum value of z. This is the minimum value of z. So, optimum solution of given RPP is x1 is equals to 1, x2 is equals to 5, and minimum of z is equals to 13. Again here, only one value of z is minimum. So this one is also a single solution, means unit solution problem. This one also a unit solution problem. Okay, thanks everyone. Now in further lectures, we will discuss about the 3 special cases of graphical method. Thanks everyone.